There's an issue where the game lets you be too active, and some minor tweaks we can make to adjust quite how your activity scales, but it's not as simple as you require too many calories. Heard once the human body is only able to absorb about 8,000 calories per day. Yeah, I have no idea about actual biology stuff. So let's, why don't we check that? We'll save our game. Go ahead and debug, I guess it's under player. Where would be my calorie log thing? Game maybe? Nope. Go back. It's gotta be under player. Damage self. Oh, we have a bleed opportunity now. Did you go into info and check game state? Doing this will disable achievement. Sure. Oh. I didn't think it would be here. I'm not sure why it would be here. So we've gained... Oh, we ate way less calories than I thought we did. I thought we had eaten like literally like 12,000 calories the other day. We must have done something in between that split that up. We're actually eating around what I imagine we would be burning, 3,000 to 5,000 a day. We're just slightly underdoing it. How is that right? No, this is not correct, because earlier today when we left the lab, I ate 4,000 calories worth of... Keep in mind, if gaining is delayed by 2 days. I see. That makes literally everything I was about to say completely unnecessary. 7,000 calories used in a day. That's, I don't think, unusual at all, considering we spent an entire day in melee combat in a lab. I think that's pretty reasonable. Although you're saying this is delayed by 2 days, I have no idea. Why would it be delayed by 2 days? Why wouldn't it show current? But anyway, let's game, enable achievements. Great. And we're just gonna treat our wounds and stuff and go to bed. So antiseptic on our arm for sure. And our head for sure. It's interesting that the body parts got shuffled in a lot of menus, but not in this menu. I guess they had specifically laid out which body parts are displayed first. I think that's actually enough of the antiseptic. Let's just bandage the rest. And bandage literally everything that's injured. Torso, makeshift arm, and other arm, and that should be fine. Gain is delayed by 2 days, nothing else is, because it takes 2 days to digest food. Okay, so then those calorie negatives would be a result of the massive amount of time we spent doing combat. I imagine that using up tons of our stamina and fighting in like melee combat for an entire like literal 2 days burnt 8,000 calories. It sounds right-ish to me. I mean, it's kind of like if I was if I would spend all day cutting down trees, I imagine it would be pretty comparable. It's more the fact that using 7,000 calories just wouldn't happen for pretty much any human being in any situation. I don't know what... Lumberjack is like my baseline. I feel like if you go out and you literally do physical activity for 8 to 12 hours a day, I gotta imagine you do burn like thousands of calories. I have no idea. I don't really care. It's just a little frustrating that we're not gaining weight. Why don't we eat as well before we go to bed? We've treated our wounds. Let's just pop out and jam a few more calories down our gob just to be sure. Let's go up here and we'll eat... I don't know, canned meat. What do we have? Do we not have chicken left? Ooh, chicken and dumplings. Sure, we'll have some of that. And eat one more, why not? A few more calories in our belly. That way we're not going to bed hungry. Going to bed hungry is terrible. And we're not super injured, despite the fact that we took 3 bullets. I think that we're going to be just fine, and we're probably going to restore most of our HP overnight. Are we going to freeze to death in our sleep? No, our head's a bit cold. We'll check next door for a blanket. Someone said, no, blankets contribute to your warmth while sleeping, I think, right? It's not just comfort. Drop a blanket, and let's have ourselves a nap in some dead people's farm. Soldiers use 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day, if I recall correctly. The lumberjack would use 4-ish, okay? Don't forget recommended is 2,500. Heard that in the context of the Tour de France, the racers there use about that amount. Found a paper about soldiers from the American Civil War, and that was about it. I don't think it's changed much. Okay, what about the Arctic? Yeah, I also... it's weird, but my first thoughts are like lumberjacks and people in really cold conditions, or climates rather. You would expect our survivor to use around the amount if they're doing a lot of work considering the situation. They do contribute to sleep warmth, good to know. We are basically fully healed, so that's nice to see. I can still bounce back from multiple bullets in one day. Doesn't cold make you burn more? Yes. Yes, that'd make you burn more, but I don't know how that would contribute. Yeah, all of this stuff. So, you know, I like Cataclysm, and I like a lot of things about Cataclysm. But because everything, you know, generally follows the rule of like we're trying to be realistic, I don't do science. I'm not a very well versed in science and actual number values and stuff like that. I can usually guess what I think would be accurate, but when people try to use actual numbers, I have no idea about this kind of stuff. I know that I personally consume too many calories in real life and do not burn enough, but that is about the extent of my knowledge. So, we're gonna head up here in hopes of finding a lab, although I suspect it's just another farm. We are fully healed, which is nice. Clothes are looking okay. The Kevlar vest could do with the repair, but we don't have more Kevlar. And I don't love driving at night either, but there's really not much that I want to do. We did tick up to normal weight. Let's just gorge ourselves a little bit more on food. Almost said gouge, but don't gouge yourself. Gorge yourself. Actually, don't gorge yourself either. It's probably not good for you. The meat product. What is upsetting is that, like, if I didn't have all this food place food, I would not be able to keep up with our current calorie consumption. We've been eating tons of meat, tons of that 500 calorie food place food, and we're still not breaking even. So that has been unpleasant, you know. And if we didn't have that, I don't know. Well, good, it ran over our gallon jug of water because, of course, it dropped it on the ground for a third time. You hear beep. Why is this alarm going off? You hear beep. Do I have a backup beeper? I don't. Why am I beeping? I've never beeped in this vehicle before. Why am I beeping? Southwest, you hear beep. It must be a backup beeper. I didn't know we had one. I've never noticed that. Anyway, it's super irrelevant. Let's head up here. Go ahead and flip on the headlights. How are we doing battery-wise? Pretty okay. Yeah, where's my backup beeper? I feel like it should be on the same tile as quarter panels, which maybe in the back. Backup beeper. Yeah, I did not even notice that we had this. What a terrible thing to have in a zombie apocalypse. Also, I guess they damaged one of my headlights, which I didn't notice, but whatever. Head over here, hope for a lab, and just try not to hit any rocks on our way over. Everything should be fine. Do some water, sure. Some rando animals. Don't really care about it. Not going to cause you any trouble. Okay, don't hit the boulders. Don't hit the lake. A rando cabin out here that's not marked on the map. I am suspicious, but we of course are going to go inside and see what's going on. Not marked on the map. Are you super dangerous? Some more water. Boop. Nope, literally just an empty shack. Okay. What is the point of you? A lake with some fish. Not a lake, I guess. A little pond, maybe. Alrighty, well. Sure. Rando damaged cabin. Let's just move on. Thought maybe there'd be something interesting inside, because, you know, it's not marked on the map. But whatever, it's fine. Let's head over here. I am starting to think it might be a lab, because we're not seeing any, like, random outbuildings for a farm or whatever. Because we would see something by now if it were a farm. So I guess this is a lab. Oh, doesn't seem to be anything. Oh, what are you? Tree farm. Oh, good. So it is not a lab. There's a random corpse here. Let's stop and poke the body, because that's what you do when you find a dead body. You have... Oh, I thought you had pink hair, but no, that just shows you're going to reanimate. Wearing a wedding dress. Wedding dress and a leather bikini top. That makes sense. Okay. So where do we go now? We know this isn't a lab, so where do I go? We could head northeast and hope that this is all field and we can just connect to this road over here and like lop off a pretty significant travel time. I don't know that that's actually going to work in our favor, but the possibility. Really nowhere else that I want to go. This town is overrun by acid ants, and I would rather die than go there. What is this? Bridgehead. Okay. There is a big town here. I don't think there's an easy way to get it without going through the cities we just came through. Actually, we could go over here like we had just planned to. Let's see how far the open area goes, and then if it turns into forest and we can't travel through, we'll just double back. So yeah, not a lot of stuff going on in the game at the moment. Sorry about that. Not every moment can be super exciting. Sometimes the day in the life of a survivor is pretty boring and repetitive and filled with driving. So actually not seeing forest is a good sign. Acid ant hills are one of the worst things in the game. That's a messed up bridge. Is it? What's wrong with it? Where did I see that? Bridgehead ground. Oh. Does that mean it has a ground level? Whatever. I mean, we're not going to go over there, unfortunately. I mean, so it doesn't really matter that much. I haven't really seen the new bridges. I've only seen pictures of them that other people have posted, and a lot of people were posting they were floating and like not lining up right and stuff. I haven't seen any of that, I don't think. But I think the fact that we have a Z+1 bridge is pretty cool. The fact that we can actually drive under bridges now and go up ramps with our vehicles, I think that's pretty cool. I guess it's a little buggy, but I don't know. But yeah, acid ants, yes, are one of my least favorite things. So I do play without fungals basically all the time. I don't play with fungals. Farmhouse. I guess we'll stop. I mean, maybe this one has animals we could butcher for meat and hop out here. But acid ants are like just a nightmare. I just leave if I ever find acid ants. This also looks like the old farm layout. Let's turn off our headlights. Stop driving. How are the batteries? Holding out kind of midway. We really need more solar panels. It's not actually going across the river. It's several sections just randomly elevating over the river with supports and no bridge in where you want to go. Okay, that's not great. That sounds like not an optimal bridge. Check the books. The Analyst. Nope. Winemaking for beginners. Of course. Spelling book as well. So our search for a lab isn't going very well. Finding farms mostly. Unsurprisingly. Giant wasp, huh? On this Z level though? No, you're grayed out. So are you downstairs? Either way, I really would rather you just leave me alone. Why is it only showing the Bible when in this menu it shows... Oh, they're up here. My mistake. The adorable girl. When a therapist's daughter transfers to a new school, she decides to change her personality type. We already read this, didn't we? So we'll skip that one. Have a look around. Loot these people's house. Batter up. No thank you. I have been moving more towards audiobook style content, been working on some stuff. It's not been going well, and I have absolutely no timetable on when that would be something that starts going up. But I know we talked about it briefly and then never talked about it again. It is something I've been thinking about and working towards, but behind the scenes and trying to keep it quiet so that people don't get high expectations and then disappointed when it's not what they want it to be. So yeah, in the way the bridge should look like this. Okay, is it probably, would it be because I what is this? Mine entrance? No thank you, you have nothing I want. Would it be because this save existed before Z-level bridges and maybe they just didn't convert right? Or is it like all bridges are busted? Or I don't know. I guess we'll go up here and see if the wasp wants to fight us. Ooh, you have a greenhouse. What have you got in your greenhouse? Roses? Oh, so you grow garbage that's not worth my time. Okay. Now you just scroll past a few working ones at just weird generation. Did I? I'm just curious. I wanted to see good ones. Oh, like this. Gotcha. Okay. There's some as well. Alrighty. Neat. So roses are not What is this? What's casting a shadow right here? How do I go up a Z level? Oh, you can't look up a Z level. Yeah, I'm not sure what's casting these weird shadows on the ground. Whatever. Let's go murder this horse for meat, I guess. Where are you, horsey? Tab, horse, all the way over there. Okay. Wasp nest on the Z level above. Oh. That's not great. Overconfidence is slow and insidious killer, please. Why? Why do you want me to say things? I am suspicious. You need 3D FOV to look up, but that also means that wasp above will come down and kill you. Well, probably not, but be mean. Well, I want this meat though. That wasp is not, I don't want to deal with them, but my concern was not a singular wasp though. My concern was like, are there 8 other wasps that are up there going to murder me? Also, I can't say the plural of wasp very effectively. Sorry, horse. I need you for food. Butcher. Quick butcher will do. Heard footsteps. Nah. Just another pony. So we'll see if we can get out of here without the a whole mess of wasps coming and making trouble. 55 chunks. How much can I pick up of this? It weighs about 35 pounds. Let's carry it back to the car. I don't want to haul in the vicinity of the wasp. That way your wet feet make it hard to climb. Why are my feet wet? What? Am I not wearing shoes? Tab over to feet. I'm wearing shoes. I guess maybe the morning dew got on my feet. You talked about audiobooks in one form or another for a long time. Not saying it's a bad idea, been looking forward to that for a long time. Well, unfortunately it would be storytelling of my own. So it would be like my novels that I've written before being reworked and possibly read out loud. Problem is I'm not a voice actor, so like doing voices is hard. reading my own work is hard because like I feel like I should have done a better job. So like I have a lot of self-esteem stuff tied up with it. Part of it is like the vulnerability of exposing part of my worldview to you through my writing. We've talked about some of this to some extent, but I would not hold out too much for that kind of stuff. I'm very much torn on whether or not I would want to share those things with people. So it might just literally never happen. So I don't want you to sit there and be like, he said he's working on it, so any day now. It's definitely something that if it happens, it's going to be one of those days where I'm like in a really good mood and I feel like, yeah, screw it, let's just do it. And then I do it and then I'm stuck with that decision. But anytime I'm having a bad week or whatever, I'm always going to second guess myself to the point where we're not going to do that. So I don't know what to say about it. I don't know. It's a famous Darkest Dungeon quote. The narrator in the game is Wayne June. He did Lovecraft audiobooks, for example. Oh, I didn't know that. I played Darkest Dungeon for like a day. I didn't really like it very much. Honestly, I think it's a good game. I just think I didn't like the stress system, the fact that you had to have multiple teams of people. You couldn't just level one team of people. You know, I didn't like the way you had to lose stress. In order to lose stress, you had to actually like not let them fight for a day, and like you had to actually go with a different team, and that really bothered me. And then the difficulty itself, it just seemed like everything was stacked against me the whole time, which I think is the point. I just didn't respond very well to it. Horse, why couldn't you just stand still and take it? Come here, man. Just make this easier on yourself. Yeah. Doesn't have to be this way, horse. I'm sorry. It needed to be done. Quick butchery. We have a lot of meat. Lovecraft. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Lovecraft either, to be honest. I like conceptually some of the things, but you know, it's hard not to. So many people, every time you mention Lovecraft, someone's like, well, you know that guy was like a hardcore racist, right? And then I'm like, yeah, I mean, you know. And so every time somebody mentions Lovecraft, I find it hard not to think about that. I do like some of the stuff. I'm just not as into the Cthulhu mythos as some people are. Some people are so into it. I don't know. I don't think it's bad or anything. Everyone was a racist in the 19th century. Yeah, I'm just saying that every time it comes up, somebody's like, well, you know what his cat was named, right? And you're like, okay, yes. So there was a huge racial component. So now every time I hear Lovecraft, I can't help but think that guy's a racist. It doesn't matter that everyone else was, or that it was just the times. It doesn't matter. Even if he wasn't a racist, the fact that everyone brings it up all the time, it just is what I think of when I hear his name now. So this mine is not going to have anything we want. Well, it does have a military vehicle though. Might have guns in it. I guess we'll stop. I was going to not stop, but we'll stop. The fat zombie and a regular zombie, nothing really to be concerned over. Although every time an enemy breathes on me, I do start bleeding now, so that's exciting. And of course he ripped my travel pack, because he's a basic zombie, and a basic zombie is definitely, you know, gold and silver. I don't really care about the precious materials. We do have a shotgun, which is nice, because we did not have a proper shotgun. All we had was like a 2-shot, like country bumpkin kind of shotgun. So we will take this nice one. Give the mace back. Go ahead and apply a makeshift bandage to stop the bleeding. Honestly, the new bleeding system, I just find it annoying at the moment. I like that they've added blood to the game. I think that it is going to, well, obviously it's like a foundational thing for self-surgery and advanced medical treatments and transfusions and stuff. So I think that, like, conceptually, blood absolutely is great, and I love that it was added to the game. What I don't like is that basically every single attack against me makes me bleed. Heavy bleed attacks, or attacks that lead to heavy bleeding, require multiple bandages. and it just becomes a tedious thing of like constantly pressing buttons. And I really do wish, like, I don't even know what I would like it to be, but honestly, like the other day we took a couple bullets from a turret, and it makes perfect sense that we would bleed from that, and it makes perfect sense that it would be heavy bleeding. And like I treated the wounds immediately, and just to treat those couple of bullets, it took me like 9 bandages, and it was just kind of annoying to continually press the same buttons over and over and over. Ultimately, I like bleed. I just think it's a little too common at the moment. Like, not the turret thing. It makes perfect sense that a turret leads to some pretty heavy bleeding. But like, I'm wearing full leather gear and stuff, and like a child zombie walks up to me and hits me, and now I'm bleeding, and it's like, really though? Like, we have a bite and a like scratch attack, so it makes sense that those attacks deal bleed because they're like cut and bites. But the average zombie attack, because we have a separate attack for cut and for bite and scratch, I always assumed that like basic zombie cow, that basic enemy attacks were like blunt. I assumed that they were like slamming into you, pushing you around, that kind of stuff. So I don't really understand why they're all bleeding. These are all zombie cows, huh? And a zombol, which I'm assuming is the bee over here. Zombol. Enormous and massive creatures with oily black eyes and dread horns. What? This? Oh, this, okay, was once a domestic bull. Its nasty character makes it attack everyone it meets with an unbridled rage and tremendous speed. And then how about the cows over here? Once a placid cow, this leathery horror stumbles and shudders, its pulsing black eyes scanning for prey beneath wicked horns. It is big and heavy and murderous. Interesting. So that would be, I think Lyle added the zombie cows, and then I think Knight added zombie bulls. I don't really remember. But they're a very recent addition to the game. We really want nothing to do with them, unfortunately, because they are now zombies. So we can't get... Ooh. Why is there just a huge horde out in the middle of nowhere? What is this? What is this? Feral human. So those are also a new addition. Why are there just a huge horde? Mass grave. No, nothing's marked on the map. I thought mass graves were marked on the map. Somewhat nerfs NPCs being able to last so long because they can get hit on a broken limb. Oh yeah, we've had right, over damaging a broken limb. They're map extras. Oh, that makes sense. I was looking for them in a video pretty recently, and I couldn't find one because I was searching the map for it. A lot of feral humans. Pupils dilated, and what remains to be seen of the iris and sclera are bloodshot. Still breathes, but the zombies treat it like one of them. They are pink at symbols. They don't have a... I never update my tile set, so they might have tiles, I don't know. I don't want to mess with any of this. We're just gonna drive on by. Mirando clothing. Nothing, of course, is gonna be interesting there. Yeah, we definitely are not stopping here. We're just going to move along. Disilluted Devourer. You go ahead and have fun merging with all your companions there, Disilluted Devourer.